Hi everyone, it's Imogen and welcome back to Colouring Kid. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my completed pages for the month of June 2023 and what I hope to colour in July 2023. And I do apologise, I've got a cold at the moment. Hopefully I don't sound too bunged up. I'm not feeling too bad today, so I thought I would film whilst I have a chance. But yeah, I apologise. And yeah, I can't believe we're halfway through the year because so much has happened. I am hoping that I'm going to be able to pre-film some videos for you and put them out over July, including a colour and chat explaining everything that's been happening. I just haven't been able to get around to one, but now that most of the big things to have happened this year have happened, I can talk about them. So yeah, I think I did mention in a couple of other videos, but I'm going away travelling. I'm interrailing for 3 weeks in July, so I really don't think I'm going to get that much done, and I'm not planning on taking any colouring stuff with me. I thought I was going to, but I'm taking a travel diary instead, and so I think I'm taking some washi tapes and stickers and stuff and having that as my creative outlet during the 3 weeks. I might see if I can fit a few colouring postcards and stuff in the there's like 2 flaps in the diary where I can put stuff in, but I think I'm not going to have that much time anyway. But when I'm doing all of the train journeys to and from places, that will be a really good creative thing to do. So I've got about a week before I leave. I'm going on the 7th of July, and then a couple of days when I get back, so I'm probably only going to get 1, maybe 2 pages done, but I want to share some anyway that I would like to do, and then they'll probably just roll over into August. So yeah, I'm going to share my 2 completed pages first. So the first one is from I Believe in Fairies by Clara Markova, and this was a buddy colour with my lovely friend Effie at Effie Colours over on Instagram and YouTube. We try to do buddy colours whenever we can. She's been really patient with me whilst I've been doing my exams and stuff, and now that I'm finally finished with them, we thought it would be nice to do another buddy colour. So what we're doing is she's trying to finish Fairy Celebrations and I'm trying to finish the postcards, so we just do a Clara Markova buddy colour. So I picked the postcard with the berries on it, so she picked a picture that also had some berries on it, and I love how her page is turning out. She's been sharing things on her story, and I think she's almost done with it as well, but hers was very detailed and had lots of different things, so I'm not surprised that it's taken her a bit longer, but she always colours so beautifully. So the last postcard I actually did was also a buddy colour with her, and I think that they go quite nicely together. So I only finished this very recently. I'm going to just take it out of the flap so you can see. So for this picture I used my Faber-Castell Black Edition pencils, and I loved using them on this postcard. I thought they worked really well. I also did a tutorial sort of talky video about how I use fine liners, which is an updated video. I've done 3 before. I forgot I did the 3rd one, but the 3rd one that I did most recently was more of a tutorial thing rather than talking about fine liners that I use. So I have quite a few videos on my channel now because I use fine liners a lot in my colouring, and it occurred to me when I was colouring this that I was using the fine liners a lot, so I thought it would be a good idea to share it on this postcard. So essentially what I've done for all of it is a pencil base and then gone over with the fine liner. So I will explain all of this in my colour combinations video, which will be out at some point in July. But I pretty much use fine liners as much as pencil now in my colouring. It does depend what I'm doing, but a lot of the time it's sort of a half and half split now. So they're definitely a staple in my colouring collection. So I will just show you the pencils actually, if you haven't seen them before. They are not fairly new to the colouring world because they've been out for a while, but this 100 set at least has only just become a little bit more available. I think you can actually find it on Amazon UK now, and my lovely friend Anne helped me to get them at the time when they weren't available on Amazon UK. So I've had them for a few months now and been able to really play with them, play around with them a lot. So this is currently the largest set that they have, and the colour selection is very, very beautiful. I've just got the swatch sheet here. So they've got a really nice range of colours, and I very happily am just doing pages with these pencils. I think that the range really allows you to do that, and yeah, I'm loving them. So I think this is the second picture I've done exclusively with them, and I'm looking forward to doing more. So yeah, I used those and then fine liners, and as I said in my recent fine liner video, I really gravitate towards using the Stadler fine liners, however you say them. So yeah, they're my favourites, but I also do have the Arteza ones and the Stabilo ones, which I tend to use quite a lot. So apart from that, I used quite a few of my paints, my Calero paints actually for this one. I'll just show you them. I also used an Archie's paints as well, and that's Kaylee on Etsy. You can find her. So I used Stardust, which I use a lot, as you can tell, and this is lovely. It's like the Art Spirits Stardust paint. The only reason I didn't use that one is because the Art Spirits paint one is very, very glittery, and for these wings I wanted more of a shiny glittery effect. So this one isn't quite as glittery, which is what I was going for. And yeah, I used a few of the other colours. So Blackberry was a really nice one to use for this one, as I was colouring blackberries. And the paint I used from Kaylee was, it's either called Karina or Alara, and I can't remember which one. I think it could be Karina. No, Alara, the pink one. So these are really awesome. They are coloured paints, but then with gold glitter. So if you water them down, then they're basically gold glitter, but then when they're not in the light, they retain the original colour of the paint. So on all of these dots here, they're faintly pink, but then in the light they're gold. So I based all of the wings with the Stardust paint, but before that I actually used some gouache. So I have the Arteza gouache, and I watered them down and just did a very light colour. So I'm hoping you can see the slight colours underneath, because I didn't want it to just be white wings. I sort of wanted to give the impression that they were see-through wings, so you could still see faint like pink and purple in them. And yeah, lots of white gel pen as well. Actually, it wasn't gel pen. I've been really liking using the ZSCM acrylic paint markers at the moment. I was sent a set of 20 markers, 10 were black and 10 were white, and these are fantastic. I think they are more opaque than some white pens that I've tried, and they've got a really nice nib to them as well. So that's what I've been using. And then I used some gold metallic Arteza Jelly Roll pen. And yeah, I think that's about it. So the only thing I found quite tricky with this was trying to make it cohesive, because although there weren't many elements, I didn't want to add too many colours. So I wasn't sure at first what to do with her dress, and in the end I just thought, well, I'll do a lighter purple. So I hardly used any pencils for this, actually. Sometimes I like to do that, just pick a minimal colour palette. And I layered the background quite a lot, so even though it's more of a solid colour, I mixed a sort of peach colour with this beautiful pink just to build up the colour a bit more in the background. So yeah, that's that one, and I'm really happy how these two look as a spread together now. So yeah, that's that one. I'm running out of summer ones though. I have a few summer and spring, and then most of them are autumn and winter, so I need to make sure that I get round to those in the coming months. And then the other picture that I completed, which you did get a sneak peek of in the fine liner video if you saw that, was my page from Laila Dooley's Beautiful Planet. Now, I thought originally when I got this book that I was going to be so intimidated by how big it was, and I wasn't at all. I got so engrossed in this page, and this was the page that I was working on during all my exams, I think. So I only finished this about 3 weeks into June because I'd started it just before June and then just worked on it bit by bit during my exams, and I loved it. So the page that I did was this, and this wreath was one of 2 pages that I was choosing between. It was either this one or this one. Well, I guess this isn't really a wreath, is it? It's more of just a circular page, but I love both of them and I would really like to get around to that one. And I'm so pleased with it. It's probably one of my favourite pages that I've done so far this year because I just spent so long on it and didn't get bored at all. I did it element by element. So I started with this big flower over here, and despite all the petals, I thoroughly enjoyed doing it and didn't find it laborious at all. So I started with that, then did these flowers here, the anemones, and then these flowers, and then did the background and the leaves as well. So I was inspired by this page from Botanicum by Katie Scott and Kathy Willis, which I think I did share in my plans from last month. And it was this red pineapple that I was inspired by. So you can see how, the inspiration that I've taken from this. I wanted the page just to entirely be pink with the dark pinks sort of leaning into burgundy and red, actual pink, and then the green. So this top of the pineapple has a lot of grey in it, so I basically did this colour combo with the pink edges and this sort of fur green colour for all of the leaves. And I think that's one of my favourite parts of the page actually, because I would never have thought to outline the leaves with pink. I'll bring it up closer in a second so you can see. Normally when I do leaves I would just do them green and leave them, but I'm finding more and more now that I like to experiment and try new things with leaves, because I think often they can get very dull if you just do them green. And of course they don't have to be green all the time, they can be any colour you want, but if I'm trying to colour realistically, it's quite nice to add something a bit different in there, like the pink outline. So this colour was mainly what inspired me for this flower here. So yeah, it was exclusively sort of the reds and greens, apart from the yellow for lots of the centres of the flowers. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see, but I used a lot of fine liner, as I mentioned in my fine liner video. So again, this will be a page that you will see in my colour combinations video. And I was worried when I first started doing this that, oh, is it going to end up looking too Christmassy with the sort of red-green theme? But I think that the opposite colours on the colour wheel really worked for this, and it's not something that I normally do. I don't normally just stick to 2 colours. So it was a challenge, but very fun, and I can't wait to work in this more. And yeah, it was just so much fun. I can't say enough good things about Laila Dooley's work. I mean, her work used to intimidate me a lot, and that's the reason that I'm already on my second copy of the flower year, because there are pages that I want to redo because I did rush them the first time. And I think that's the key thing for me with detail pages. I just can't rush them, because if I do, the details just overwhelm me and they get lost, and then I just rush to finish them. So I'm glad that I took my time with it. So I can't wait to work in this again. I'm either going to do another page in it, or I will work on the flower year next. And I haven't decided what books I'm going to take away with me on holiday, but I don't imagine that this will be one, or the flower year, just because I don't want them to get damaged, and I think this is definitely too big to take. And the flower year, I'm always a bit worried about the cover. I don't want the ends to get bashed. So we'll see. I might not get around to something of hers until September in that case, but we will have to see. I really love it. So yeah, that's that one. And then I'm going to move on to sharing what I hope to colour in July, or obviously in the coming months. I do have a whip that I've started, which I'm pretty much almost finished with. This is Enchanted Earth by Melpomene Chatsopanegitu, and this is her new book. Now, I picked this up from the works a few months ago, and I'm finally getting around to it. I'd finished my Laila Dooley page, and I wanted to do something mindless and something fun with paint. And I thought, oh, I'll just I'll just use it in this new book and see how it goes. And I'm not thrilled with it, but it was fun. So I think I will push through and finish it, but I haven't spent long on it. I've sort of just put down colour here and there, and I haven't gone over with pencil. I'm not sure if I will or not. But out of all her books, this isn't my favourite. I think The Circle of Life is still my favourite, and this might end up just being a sort of mixed media sort of book just to try stuff out, rather than it being sort of serious colouring work. And now that I've got less time to colour, I do find myself gravitating towards doing more serious detail colouring work, like serious as in realistic colouring, I guess. So for me, this was just something fun and nice to do, really, and use some of my mediums that I wouldn't normally use in my other books. So this is the page that I've been working on, and this is the one that I've said that I've wanted to get around to for a while. So I did the background with Neocolor 2s because I've missed using them, and I tend to use them for cards and things, but not really in books. So I did do a couple of layers of those, and then I did iron it, which didn't really help. It's still quite buckled. And then I'm leaving the stave white. I'm leaving it as it is, but I have gone in with some of my Zig Kuretake clean brush pens for shadow. So they are basically what I've used for the whole thing, and I've tried to blend them a little bit as much as possible. The only thing that I haven't done yet is the bird and the clouds and the sort of smoke areas. I went over this with some acrylic paint marker, and I think I'm going to define the lines or go in with fine liner or something like that. And I imagine this will have quite a lot of glitter on it as well, but I'm nearly done with all the basing, and then I think it will just be a fine liner job, really, adding shading. And then, yeah, lots of paint and stuff. So I filled in all of the music notes with a black pen. So, yeah, I'm not sure how often I will get around to this book. I think, as I said, it will just be one that if I feel like I need to just switch off and do something different, this is a good one for that. I'm definitely going to have to be quite particular about what I take to uni. Fingers crossed that I do get in. I'm probably only going to be able to take 4 or 5 books, maybe a few more. And I think over the next few years anyway, I will really work out which books I really like and which ones I don't gravitate towards as much. So you'll probably be seeing the same sorts of books over and over again, which I hope you don't get bored of, but I'm not really going to have that much time, I don't think, to colour. So it's nice to be able to just use mediums that I'm not going to be able to take with me, you know, and use them now. So yeah, the only nice thing, so the nice thing about this is because the paper's quite smooth, I did find these worked quite well, and there's a nice texture on it. It's not really rough like I normally find with some watercolour products. So yeah, that's that one, and I didn't really do a colour palette for it. I just chucked whatever I wanted on it basically. So yeah, that's how that one's looking so far. So I think this probably will be done by the end of July, because I don't think it will take me that much longer. It's just whether I feel like doing it or whether I'd rather work on something else with the limited amount of time that I have. So we will see, but you will see it finished at some point. And then these are the books that I would like to work in. So I've got 2 books with buddy colours that I definitely will get round to in July or August. So first we've got Die Welt unter der Lupe Zulande by Rita Berman. So I've got a buddy colour in here with Michelle, and we've decided on this lovely mouse page. This is one that I've been wanting to do for a while. I sort of think that this is in the summery section, maybe even spring, I guess it could be either. But I think it's just the page is so cute, and I do like colouring mice. I tend to colour them either grey or brown, and usually with a pink undertone to them. But something about this intrigued me with the mushroom house, just thinking about how to tackle it, because I think I've seen before some people colour this where they've done, say, a red top to it and they've coloured everything in red shades. But I think what I might do is do the red background, but then still colour the flowers and fruit and stuff as different colours. So there's quite a lot of details and things in this. I really want to start this before I go away. This is going to be the next thing that I work on. I haven't worked out a colour palette yet, which is probably going to take a bit of time because there's a lot of elements. And I don't think I'll get it finished. So to be honest, I might only get this picture done for July. We will see. But I think I'm going to use my Black Widow pencils because I haven't used them for a while, and I love using those in this, in Rita's books. And of course Rita's new book is going to be coming out in, I think it's September, isn't it? Late August or early September. So I probably won't get around to too many more Rita Bem pages before that comes out. So yeah, this is one that I've been drawn to for a while, so I want to get around to it now. So haven't thought if I'm going to use a background yet, but I will figure out the colour palette. That'll be the first step to this process. And with a detailed page like this, sometimes I do the background first, but given that there's quite a lot going on, I might start with something else. So yeah, that's that one. And then I've got Mein Reise der Europa by Rita Berman as well. So this one I want to save for after travelling specifically. So this might only get done in August. This is a buddy colour with Jill, and we picked this picture. So the reason I'm saving it is because I thought it would be really nice to do after I've been to Paris. That's one of my stops for interrailing. It's my last one actually. And I thought, well, seeing as this is in the Paris section, I'll wait until I've been there, take some photo inspiration and use that. So I might only get around to this in August because I don't think I will finish it in the few days that I have when I get back. And I know I could just look stuff up on the internet and use those colours like I have done with other Paris pictures in this book. But I think seeing as I'm going, it would be nice to live it for real and take pictures. I'm really looking forward to doing it though. I think this is a gorgeous page. I love the composition of it. I just think it's so pretty. There are quite a few fiddly details. I don't want to just rush all the tiny details. I really want to take my time. But I'm thinking pink flowers and then probably a black, maybe black. I know it's sort of a common thing to have black and then do sort of the chalk effect with white. So that could be a possibility. I'll have to see what it's like. But yeah, I really like that one, and I might even find myself wanting to do this page alongside it as well, seeing as there are lots of similar elements on the two pages. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that one. I'm very excited to go to Paris. These are the other two pages that I've done. And I don't know actually if there are other places in Europe that are also in here that I'm going to. But it would be nice to do some other pages if I am. Oh, I should definitely do another Italy page. Well, that would be nice. I'm not going to Venice, but I'm going to Florence. So one of those pages would be perfect. So yeah, I'll probably take this when we go to Croatia as a family in August. I think taking a few Rita Berman books would be the best idea for travelling because they're quite small and compact. So that's that one. And then I've got Die Welt unter der Lupe zu Wasser, which I would love to get around to. And there are two pages in here that I really like, so I'll probably pick between these. And this would be perfect for Croatia. So this might be an August book as well, but I'll share it anyway. So this one I thought was gorgeous. It's sort of a wreath design, but slightly different. And I could turn it into a double page spread, but I think because it's not actually connected, it's just implied that it's sort of connected. I think I'll leave it as a single spread. And the other one I really like is this wreath. I think that's stunning. I really like doing purple and green fish. I think that would look really nice in purple and green. And the jellyfish was so pretty as well. So I want to try and not use too much blue in this book, because I do find I gravitate towards using blue in water books. I mean, that's only natural, typically water is blue, isn't it? Or I mean, I have coloured water in green tones and grey tones before, which has also worked. But this one, apart from the water and the blue tangfish, I was trying to use different colours as well. So I think it'll be another good opportunity to try and branch out and do a different colour combination. So yeah, looking forward to working this book again, hopefully. And then, again, won't get around to this, but we've got Mine Summer Sphasia Gang by Rita Berman. Haven't picked out a page for this, but I'd love to work in it in the summer months, because I've got July and August now. I've coloured quite a few in here. And this, I always said, is one of my favourite double spreads, but I don't think I'm going to get round to it. It might be quite nice to do these ice cream pages when I've been away, because I know I'm going to be having a lot of gelato. But yeah, something summery for the holidays. That would be nice. I did this double spread in my compendium, like collection book of all the seasons, and that's a beautiful page. I could definitely see myself doing that one again. But yeah, I've got 2 more books. We've got Laila Dooley's Flower Year, which, as I said, I might not get around to until September now. But originally, when I wanted to do my updated fine liner video, I was going to start a page in this, but I just didn't have time. And I thought, because I'm working on the postcard anyway, I'd share that. So I didn't get around to the June page, which I have coloured before. But this was the one that I really liked. The Fumaturi, I don't know if I'm saying that right, and Red Campion. So I did colour this in my last copy, and don't really like how the leaves and stuff came out. I definitely rushed them. So this one would have been fantastic for fine liners with all the tiny details. So that was the one I was leaning towards. But then I do also really like all of the small element pages that are in this book. I think the Foxglove one is lovely. But if I do only get round to this in August or September, there are still some really beautiful pages. So yeah, can't wait to work in that again at some point. And then the last book I have is one like Enchanted Earth that I just haven't got around to for such a long time, and I'm pleased that at least I tackled one of the books that I have been wanting to get around to for months. It wasn't this one this time, but it will be at some point. Honestly, it could be Halloween by the time I get around to this, and I wouldn't be surprised. Especially given that with it being such a hefty book, it's probably not going to be one that I would take to uni. I do think that there are some nice pages in here which again would sort of remind me of being away travelling. I think this is a really nice page, which I've mentioned before, but we're definitely in the summer section now, aren't we? Sorry, I just shook the camera. That would be a really nice one. I mean, my birthday's in November, but that would be a really, really sweet one to do. There are some lovely pages in this summer section, but equally the autumn ones, I mean, I would sort of count that as summer, to be honest. That's a lovely one as well. But yeah, I'm sorry I keep showing the same books. I'm not getting around to them. It's just how it is at the moment. But yeah, I hope that they sort of serve as a bit of inspiration anyway in some way. But yeah, that's everything I have to share with you. Thank you so much all for watching. I really appreciate your continued support, even though I haven't been making as much content recently. And I do read all of your comments, and I am getting back to them slowly but surely now that I have time to do so. I really, really appreciate them. And anytime you have a question or anything, please feel free to leave them down below and I will get back to you. And yeah, all my information is below as usual. Thank you so much all for watching. I hope you have a lovely, lovely rest of your day, and I will see you all in my next video. Take care, everyone. Bye.